This is Plastic Adventures.
Hey everybody, it is Doug and Steve. We are your Plastic Adventures toy community team, and we are returned once again on some sort of like hot streak of coming back and doing these in between real life. And this time, it's not just a sharing time where we can just fill the screen with cool stuff to ogle at. We actually had some independent thoughts and ideas to share with you. Uh, and this one is kind of regarding something that everybody's encountered out there.
Mhm.
Everybody's seen the word, and you just have to go into any toy group, and like it's just peppered with the word Grail all over the place. So, like what really is a Grail? Because that word seems to have really saturated the toy community and other collector communities,
Mhm.
sports cards, etc., all of that. But like, a Grail is rare. A grail should be hard to come by. A grail is more than just a simple keystone piece of a collection. So, what do you think about that, man? Like everybody's like, this is my grail, that's my grail. Like, oh, that new loyal subjects Thunderhawk is my grail. Better rethink that one.
We got to
Anyways,
rethink that. Yeah. So my opinion on the word Grail is I think there are two like kind of universal meanings for that. One is, I think, a personal Grail, right? So what I would consider a personal Grail, you would not consider a personal Grail. Maybe it's something that we had like it was a very special toy given to us by a very special person or something like that. And it's just not something that pops up very often, or maybe you do see it, but it's expensive and it's you really want it. It's but for whatever reason, it's hard to come by to you, but maybe not other people, right? So that's what I consider a personal grail. Like if I was after like I don't know, a complete like G1 Optimus Prime, like fully G1, fully vintage with everything in it, like that would be a personal grail for me, but maybe not for you, or maybe not for somebody else. But for me, I think that would be what I would consider a personal grail. But now, is it really a quote unquote grail? No, not really, right? Because there are many out there. There's many out there. There's many like them, but this one is mine, kind of thing, so to speak. Um, but I think when we talk about the word grail, what we really mean is that it's hardly in anybody's collection. Every collector wants one, and maybe there's very few of them left. And
yeah, like it's sparse. You go
yeah,
onto eBay and you look it up, and there's like maybe a handful or less that are for sale at any like given time.
or maybe like not at all. Like I've
Yep.
searched for some that like I tried to say no search brings them up. Nobody's selling them. So I mean, and then you think about that, like okay, so what makes a grail a grail? Well, I think there's a lot of things. You have the scarcity nowadays of things that are vintage or are not repro or anything like that. Like they're very few of. But I think what also makes it a grail is that it was hard to come by when we were kids as well, right? Like, did you know? Did every kid on your block have a flag? Mine didn't.
I knew that one was going to come up. No, see, like that's one of them. So like the way that I look at this is you've got grails, difficult to obtain, you know, sparse, scarce. But then you've got like I think the word like personal, like keystone of a
Mhm.
collection, something that is an achievement or a point that like it meant something so much to you to have one. You mentioned G1 Optimus Prime. Yeah, that's not a grail because you can really still go on and just get them, and for a couple $100 or less with a
Right.
box, you can get great looking repros. But it's like a keystone thing. Like you
Mhm.
just like when you feel it in your hands, that memory it brings back, and it's just one of those things where it's like, man, if I had one of those in my collection, that would be one of like the cornerstone keystone
Mhm.
things. But yeah, the flag definitely. Now, I know you can go on and there's maybe like between like 10 and 20 at any time, but they're in different states of repair.
Correct. Yeah.
And also, the boxed examples are far, far less easy to come by and far, far more expensive. So I
But
definitely think,
that's what I was telling you about. Like, so
yeah,
like my like I agree that a personal grail can be reworded to keystone and kind of mean the same thing, right? Like maybe and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the overuse of the word, or maybe the misuse of the word, or maybe things like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so when I say personal grail, I'm willing to go, you're absolutely right. It's not a grail. It is a keystone piece. It's an important piece. It's a very worthy piece to be in my collection. But is it a grail necessarily? And the answer is no, absolutely not. G1 Optimus Prime Vintage, not a grail. Important, yes. Maybe hard to come by on some avenues, yes, but a grail, absolutely not.
No,
But
I
what
mean, I
what
would,
what makes the flag a grail though, Steve? Like I was saying, like did you have like a kid on every corner have a flag? Did you were able to go over every friend house and play with their flag and things like that? No. I mean, if you were lucky, you knew one kid with it. If you were
I
lucky.
walked by one once in a toy aisle at Jafco. It turned into Best later on, but that was the only time I saw it. And I looked at it and I'm like, Dad, look at that. Because he had come into town and he
Mhm.
usually treated me when he did. And he's like, no, we're not going to be looking at that one, son. 'Cause it's like $100, like back then. But
God, I would take that for 100 bucks.
that was it. And that's why when I passed on one in the 90s for $75, I didn't know it was complete. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's probably 95% there, but
95% of a flag is still 95% of a flag that I didn't have
yes,
before.
not that I have a place to put it, but it's 95% of one would have been better than 0%.
Well, I mean, my wife's side of the bed, she's not using that much. I
Ah, yeah. Anyways,
Anyways, so but yeah, so when we talk about a grail, and I think what we should mean when we're telling other people, like another collector should understand when I say the word grail. They should understand right away. Oh, this piece, it's a grail because it's hard to find. There's not very many at all. If you can count them together, all of them in existence on one or two hands, that's that's beyond rare.
yeah,
And that's what should be considered a grail. Now, that's not there's an asterisk to that, Steve. Let's say it's a line that nobody collected and there's only five of them left.
yeah.
Does that make them a grail? No, I don't think it makes them a grail. Even though they're rare and even though they are like you can't find them, but if I didn't play with them as a kid and every other kid I know of in the world never played with them and they just happen to show up at a vintage market and they're the only five in existence, that doesn't make it a grail. It just
So, okay, your grail has to be based on some desire for the product, like
hmm
mainstream desire, do you think? Okay.
well not well mainstream in a way that it's a shared memory with everybody. Like with all of the collectors in your community, with all the collect, we all have the same shared want and desire and kind of the memory of I saw one once of a flag. So,
So, what you're saying is you would not consider Mego Greatest American Hero figures to be a grail.
well, no, I would
Uh-huh.
because as a kid, I did want that, and it was just never Miko. Miko was on its way out by the time that GI Joe and He Man and all these other things started coming out. Transformers, right? Miko was on its way out the door. So trying to find one of those even back then, that was hard. Doesn't mean I didn't want it. Doesn't mean that other kids didn't want it.
Oh, I
And we
don't
all
think
have this
other
shared
kids
memory
wanted it back
of the
then.
TV show and the theme song that's now stuck in my head.
Now,
But
see, yeah, like I'm gonna say that like the overall desire, whatever, dude. When that came out, You don't want no greatest American hero. You want G.I. Joe and He-Man, right?
Well,
But
but I
I,
did
I've
want it. That's
seen
what's
I've
weird.
seen one like once, and it was like $900. I've seen one once at a collector show.
But would I consider my collection good enough without it? Yes.
Oh,
My
sure.
collection is good enough without it. And if I
The
added it, would it be the absolute display piece of my collection? I don't think it would be.
I yeah, I consider it to that's one of those things where like if you want one, you just can't have one now.
Hmm.
Also, like the Ertl Magnum PI,
Yeah.
the Vet and Magnum, where you getting one? Ain't
But
even
is it
on.
necessarily a grail? Be, like when I was growing up, like I didn't have an appreciation for Magnum PI until I was a teenager, not a kid. And that's when those were things were coming out. Like what I really wanted was not Magnum PI. I wanted the Ferrari.
Yeah, but where are they? They're
Yeah,
gone.
you
They're
can't find them.
destroyed. They're
But
they're
but
like so.
but scarcity doesn't necessarily equal grail, at least in my
I
opinion.
think that it has to be part of the equation, and
No, it is part of the equation, but it doesn't mean that it's the only thing that makes it a grail, right? So like you're saying about the greatest American hero figure, it's very scarce. But to you, to other people, is it a grail? Maybe. To me, to other, it's not. So what has to be a grail is it also has to be like a shared understanding of everybody wants this in the collection. Everybody wants it there. If one other collector walked into your room and saw this one of one, would he piss his pants? Yeah. Okay. So that's that's how you know it's something that's a grail because it's instantly recognizable. It's instantly wanted across all collecting generations.
okay,
So
so
that's
you
what I'm saying. That the Greatest American Hero, great toy, very cool. I want one, but is it a Grail? Mm-mm. It's a Keystone, not a Grail.
mm, I think they're so hard to come by, it puts it in a different category. But if you're trying to lump it like in terms of like what the general collector community would consider a grail, probably not.
Well, okay.
But
Well, then
like
let's take
we
this. Let's take the actual definition of the word Grail. First of all, what is the Grail? We're talking about the cup of Christ. If you've ever seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, that was the Grail, right? The Grail was this one of one thing that was mythical. Like they weren't even sure the damn thing existed, right? So, does that mean now that we have to go back into our memory and be like, oh, the Luke Skywalker that was on the back of the Return of the Jedi, that's a Grail? Because we never got that one. We got a different version of him released. Or Boba Fett, rocket firing Boba Fett. We were promised a rocket firing Boba Fett, never got one.
so see, I consider that prototype that exists out there to be a like maybe the penultimate grail collectible based on the everybody knows what it is if are in this hobby to some degree,
Mhm.
and there's like one
One.
or two.
One of
Uh,
one, right? Like,
there's like nothing out there. You just can't have it.
but it's also, it
Uh,
was the stuff of legend because up until we actually saw one and somebody actually had one, they bought it, I think it's at Rancho Obi-Wan right now. And I know there's probably maybe one or two, but up until then, just a few years ago, Steve, it was a thing of myth. Oh yeah, I held the Kenner employee back when we were neighbors, and some whatever said he held the rocket fire Boba Fett. I know it's true. You're like, no,
I
did you
had
ever see
that
it
one.
firsthand?
Yeah, no, you did not have that
No.
one.
Oh, my buddy next door had a rocket firing Boba Fett. You liar! You liar!
No, like if you broke the rocket out with your teeth and because it was glued in. Um, yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. So like when we take the actual definition of the Grail being a mythical thing that everyone talked about, but nobody saw, and then maybe somewhere out of some box crawls this thing, that's the definition of a Grail, right? Because now you brought to life, you have this thing that up until 3 seconds ago was legend, was mythical. And now you have this piece in your hand that nobody else has. There's 8 flags over there. Are those grails now? No, not considering
Not
this,
compared to that.
not compared to this.
But, like luckily there are at least a few of what you would consider Grail pieces out there for collectors. But if it had to be a one of one, then there would be no Grails other than rocket firing Boba Fett. That'd be the only one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back through and look at the things that were promised to us in catalogs or in the Toy Fair magazines. So, like, you remember the Toy Fair magazines where they were talking about the GI Joes that would come out in '97. They showed all of these Joes, and they took. Would you know what happened to them? I mean,
Oh
obviously,
yeah, yeah.
but
I don't know how they came up with those unless they just took and repainted old figures and used them as stand-ins for what they wanted to do. But
you
when I
get what
saw
I'm saying?
those,
Like, if somebody found one of those and it wasn't custom or something, and they were able to verify it and they were able to get it, for sure. Well, then, I mean, that's a one-on-one. That's the stuff of legend. That's the stuff of myth. So we know that the flag exists. We know that the greatest American hero figure exists. But do we know that that prototype Snake Eyes that was shown in that Toy Fair magazine, does that exist? I don't know.
yeah, I think they probably grabbed old figures, painted them up, and just used them for stand-ins. And then when they realized that they had like a third of the tooling that they needed for all of them, they were like, "Oh fudge,
Oh no.
uh-oh."
So,
Like Duke
but
had cuffs.
I think maybe that's what a grail should be, is that thing that's unattainable. That thing that we just keep talking about in circles. In you know, like we
So
allude,
the Unicron prototype from Transformers the movie,
if there was one shown, it's got to exist out there somewhere. If
it
they took a
does.
picture of it back then,
It's ugly,
sure.
but it exists.
And there's only one
Best I can
somewhere.
tell you, maybe there's a few of them hanging around out there. But yeah,
But
I
if you
mean,
found one, would you like crap of your pants and just turn into, like, you turn into a baby, just like, what I mean?
not quite,
Like,
not quite. I would consider myself very lucky to be in its presence and to see it. Um, it is not on my like bench of personal keystone cornerstone type collectibles, my personal grails.
so there we go. So now we're back to a personal grail could be one of those that everybody recognizes as hard to find, would want in their collection, um, but maybe they're just hard to get a hold of for whatever reason, but they have known to exist. And then a real grail, the grail of all grails, right, would have to be the one that people only talk about and have never seen in person. And then somehow in some grandma's attic, this thing came to life.
Some former employee,
Right.
in his parents' attic, where it's been there for 40 years, getting hot and cold and hot and cold, and it's like disintegrated. Yeah,
Yeah. But then again, I think of when another collector uses the word grail, I think they're trying to come up with a word that they don't have another word for it, right? Like,
could
this
be.
is something that I have wanted forever and ever and ever, and every time I've had a chance to get it, I've either had to pass up on it, or I couldn't add, didn't have enough money or whatever. And then now I finally have it, and this is my grail. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the chase of the thing that makes it a grail and not necessarily the thing itself.
Could be. Um, what are some of them? What's a couple of things that you would love to have or that you have in your collection that are like your personal cornerstone, keystone type collectibles?
So for me, like, dude, like having a boxed Jetfire in my collection, I would consider that a grail. Why? Because if you were to walk into my office and see a boxed Jetfire sitting on my shelf, you would go, "Oh, dude, you have a boxed Jetfire."
Yeah, dude, you had 600 or 700 bucks.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
instantly recognize it as something that is that way. So yeah, like I would love to have a boxed Jetfire. Oh geez, what else would it? Oh, you know what would be really cool? And it's because these things fell apart like the instant you got them out of the box when you got them from Kmart. Do you remember the costume He-Man? Like
Oh yeah,
you could wear the bracelets, you could wear the belt, you had the little plastic shield and the little flimsy power sword.
yeah,
God, what I would
yeah.
not do to have one of those, man.
There's a couple of variations too. There was one that had two swords that
Could fit
click
together,
together, and then there was one that was this odd. It looked like a sand toy.
but it
The
glowed in the
sword
dark.
with the yellow one. Actually, you know what's really cool? The flashlight. That's the
Oh,
handle, and it screws in, and it's the yellow sword with the
I
flashlight.
remember that one.
Those would
But
all
you
be
see what I'm saying?
super.
Like you remember that toy.
Oh
You
yeah,
remember what I'm
yeah.
talking about right away. And if you saw one anywhere, would you like, well, Nicole, I'm buying this. That there's no, you really don't have a say in this. I'm buying this right now. And I'm
It would be price dependent for me. It wasn't like a certain somebody when they saw the Thunder tank and was just like, I'm on it. Uh,
that was damn near
Actually, he
impressive.
tried, but that was well priced for what it was, anyways. So, uh,
Oh, but yeah, but that would be I would consider that. Now, would other people consider that a grail? I think some of them would if they were in the Masters of the Universe collecting community. They would recognize how rare that was because of how broke they would be after playing with them in the backyard for 30 minutes. They didn't survive very well outside of our childhood. Now, I've seen one or two online, and if I ever had the opportunity to get one, I would get one, and that's what I would maybe consider a grail because of how rare it is and how recognized it is by other collectors.
and their packaging was crap. It was like cardboard with shrink wrap on it.
Yeah,
Some
not
of
very
them.
good. Not very good.
I saw a Batman dress up set when we were at the last Inland Northwest from Batman the 1989
Oh
movie, and I'm
yeah,
like, oh my God, that's the one I had. Oh,
with
that
the
is so
half
cool.
mask.
I didn't have that one. No, the one that I
Oh,
had was like the utility belt and the grapnel, but it
mhm.
had a dart that it shot. And I was too fat for the utility belt, so I put a piece of string on it when I was a kid. I made my own Batman mask out of some black fabric and cardboard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Steve,
Anyways,
I kind of wish I knew you back then. That would be so much fun.
uh, what else? You have some other ultimate things that you would be looking for, or what's in your collection that you look at and you just go, dude, I can't believe that I have one of those.
Oh, well, I mean, I have a complete whale,
Yes.
100% complete whale. Um, and I'm still amazed that I have one of those in my collection. Um, God, what else do I think is it? Oh, my box Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
100% in the box Millennium Falcon. Um, I never thought I'd even get a chance to have one of those. And if it wasn't for luck and for knowing the person that I bought it from and was willing to work a deal, like I don't think I'd ever be able to have it. So there are some things in my collection that I definitely consider grails, and those are two of them.
I think so too. When someone walks in and they just respect when
Hmm.
they see it, they're like, damn, that is something else.
Yep. How
Yeah.
about
And
you?
you've
What's
got
in
some
yours? I
cool
mean,
obscure
you've got a
stuff.
way more impressive collection than I do, I think. And so what do you consider yours? Like,
Well, so the big ones for me obviously was, G1 Optimus Prime, a boxed one. I have one, but the robot points cut out of it on the
mm,
back. But it displays super well. I mean, the box is probably like an 8 to 8.5 out of 10, so
yep,
it's nice, and the figure inside's like dead mint,
right.
completely like mint condition. So that was a big one for me personally. Nobody cares, but I love my Galaxy Rangers whenever I look at those figures because no one has them here. Like in Europe, people have them. Uh, I every time I look at my Wonder Bread He-Man that I've recently
There you go.
upgraded,
Yep, that's
uh,
definitely one.
yeah, I'm like, man, I can't believe that I have one of those in my collection.
Hmm.
And this stuff wasn't like giant expensive. It was just I acquired them at certain points. Um, I got a good deal here, a good deal there, and or it was like when other collectors weren't into something and I was getting into it. Masters of the Universe, I bought and sold bought lots, parsed them out, kept the cherry picked, and then sold
Hmm.
the other ones and came out ahead for my collection, most of it. Uh, my Fall Guy truck from Ertl. I'm so glad that you spotted that.
I am
And
super
I'm
glad to have had
so
a
glad
hand
that
in
that
that.
guy had no idea what he was selling for that price. That's not quite Tom Selleck, Magnum PI,
But it's close.
car rare, but it's up there. Those are some big ones for me.
I mean,
But
you and
then,
I have
there's
been, we've been collecting
there
for a long time.
yeah, we've been at it a long time, and I got some really neat stuff too. Like I got a carded Hasbro Hulk Hogan, my very favorite version of the four that they released.
Mhm.
Um, I really love that. I've got those carded '89 Batman figures. I finally got. It just tickles me, and they're not rare at all. You can like get tons of those. Um, yeah, and I got a lot of little like odds and ends, just little stuff. Oh, Knickerbocker Aragorn. Nobody knows about that toy. Nobody knows about Javier Bardem's first
Javier
appearance in
Bardem
plastic.
Aragorn.
Yeah, yeah, that's super hard to come by, and
Yeah.
found it at Time Bomb Toys for a really good price. So those are all things that are just like, Optimus was a keystone for me. That was like a have to have, and the rest of it is just basically like super nerd icing on the cake. Like
Hmm.
never thought I'd have a chance to own them, kind of a thing, and it just circumstances worked in my favor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like you and I have been collecting for a really long time, and we've been able to, over time gather things that if anybody was to look at in one lump sum, they'd think, "Oh my gosh, you guys got everything." And you're like, "No, I was just really irresponsible with my money at one point, and I was able to get this thing."
It just worked out that way.
It just worked out that way. So, but there's things in our collection that we maybe like by itself is cool, but when you see it all together all at once in one thing, you're just like, damn, that's really cool. And this makes me happy to be here and look at it. And realistically, whether it's a grail or not, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah.
You hold
I got
that
a whole
toy,
bunch
it
of
makes you
Chinese
happy.
Transformers that bring me right back when I look at
Yep.
them, just like the ones behind you. Yep.
Yep. And real, what are we trying to do? I mean, you can look at the psychology behind it and might realize that we're really messed up individuals. Or, you can look at it from the point of view of, we're just trying to hold on to some of those things that made us really, really happy. And not that we're not happy now. Like we are. I'm totally happy now. I'm happy with my family. I'm happy with my life. But that doesn't mean that uh, I wouldn't collect anymore just because I'm happy. It's like this also makes me happy.
It
And
does. And it just always seems like there's something else kicking around when you go out there and you see it. You're like, oh, gotta have that.
yeah, it's
Those
that
little
visceral
things.
reaction, right? That when you were a kid, like, oh, damn it, I'm never going to be able to afford that 295 figure. And you find it. I mean that's part of the fun too is hunting and looking for the thing. And when we talk about Grail, that's it. Like you're always hunting for that. Like you're always looking for that big, whoa, I can't believe I actually walked in on this and I actually found this and I can actually buy it and bring it into my collection. And so it half of the fun sometimes is the hunt for the thing that you're looking for. Or maybe
Yeah.
not even you didn't even know you were looking for it. Half of the fun is stumbling across this stuff.
And I just thought about this. When you were little, everything's a constant release of dopamine when you walked into that toy aisle. Like, we just got like bombarded with it.
Yep.
And nothing really, at this point, we've seen so much, we own so much that, sometimes we're just like, oh, that's really cool. That's neat. What a great piece that is. But it still feels good to come across something where you're just like, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Ertl
I
Fall Guy
love
truck
walking into
right
a thrift
there.
store and going, is that really the price? Are we? am I being punked right now? Does somebody know that I'm looking for this?
Yeah.
Like seriously, like I went to the thrift store and I found that complete Rancor for $5. I was like, really? I'm looking for like the dropped price tag. Like this can't be the price tag for it. There's got to be another price tag down here somewhere for this thing.
Yeah, yeah, and your heart beats real heavy. You can feel it in your face, and you go to the register, and you're like, I would like to purchase this $5 toy and set it there, just waiting until they
Till they
ring it up,
ring it
and
up and it's like
they
it
don't know
really
what it
rings up
is.
as
And like,
five.
what's this? Some kind of space monster? And you're like, yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's just some dumb toy. I had one as a kid. It's fun. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then you get out to your car and you're holding it like a baby.
Shut the door. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Expletive. Yes. Expletive. 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 Yes. Okay. All right. All right. I can't wait to show my friends what they didn't get for cheap. All right.
Is the Rancor a Grail? No. But is he cool as hell? He's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yep.
So
All
yeah,
right. So I think we got our whip there, dude.
yeah. It's something to think about. You know, the next time you're out in the toy aisle and you see a modern toy and you're like, oh, this is hard to find. It's not a Grail. It's not a Grail.
Not if it's modern.
Not if
No.
it's modern. It might be, you know, somebody might be looking for it, and it's definitely not worth a scalping if any scalpers are watching this. I know they're not, but if they were, I would say please don't buy that $19 toy and turn it around and sell it for 50. Please don't do that.
Yeah, everybody else wants a shot at a Triptychon 2 at Ross right now for $100. So you buying six of them and then putting them on eBay for $200 a piece, which you won't sell.
Mm-mm.
Uh, thanks for that.
Yeah, and that doesn't make it a Grail. Sorry, it doesn't.
They don't get it. They saturate the market, then it just sits there and no one buys it. But
Yeah.
all right.
Hope you like having 6 boxes of Triptychons in your garage
Uh,
that your kids will sell at a yard sale when you're dead for $3.
yeah, I know. I know. I'm looking at all this cool stuff around me thinking that I got another, oh geez, I don't know, 20 years, something like that, maybe. Oh,
I'm
not
not
even
ready yet.
that.
I'm
No,
nowhere near
actually,
ready to give up yet. I'm still
no,
enjoying this.
less than that. Maybe about 14, 15. Then we scale back. Scale back.
It's good to have dreams.
But I'm gonna enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride while I'm on it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the ride as well on our talk about grails. What do you think is a grail? Do you think we were right on? Do you think we were off? Let us know if there's something that you found that was pretty cool that maybe nobody else knows is a grail, or maybe it's just something you're really proud of to have. Either way, share it with us. Let us know.
Yeah, come onto the Facebook page and post a Masterverse Thunder Punch He-Man and call it a Grail. So that's all Walmart has.
That's
You
all
know.
they have. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoy your evening. Thanks for talking with us, and we'll see you in the toy aisle.